The Me Too movement is a social movement that's goal is to illuminate the widespread prevalence of sexual assault and harassment in the workplace, much of which has gone unnoticed and unheard. Starting in October of 2017, the movement began after victims of assault by the film producer Harvey Weinstein voiced their instances of harassment and encouraged others to be open with their own. The Me Too movement will be a catalyst to stop workplace sexual harassment because of the following factors. Social media has given people a voice in which they can speak out for their harassment. The current social landscape allows for people to stand up for themselves and not feel ashamed for being a victim. And lastly, the success of the movement has already experienced. In only 6 months, in removing abusers from power can now deter other people who may participate in workplace harassment from future misconduct. Social media has allowed for the widespread availability of use to people all across the world. Almost anyone can create an account and have a voice in the social landscape of our society. This allows for victims of sexual harassment to voice the truth and make societal change, where before the problem was left relatively unchecked due to corrupt human resources departments, fear of job security from a person in power, and a general public unfamiliarity with the problem. Social media allows for victims to inform the public of the misconduct that goes on in the workplace and expose the perpetrators that take advantage of millions of people with no recourse. In the work environment, perpetrators are able to use their money, power, and authority to leverage the voices of their victims. When the issue is brought to the attention of the public, those people can be exposed for their actions, and the curtain can be pulled back to seek justice. These harassers can no longer hide behind the protection of their company, but rather are exposed to the whole of the internet. This outlet that has been created through the Me Too movement for victims of abuse will help end workplace harassment by exposing the issue to the public eye. In today's society, there are opportunities for people to stand up for themselves, for justice, in which in other times they would only reach a deaf ear. From students fighting for gun control to the citizens protesting police brutality, people are able to use a platform like social media to fight for social justice and change to the audience of the world without limitations like there were in the past. There is increased visibility and ability for information to spread. Also, while sadly many victims of assault and harassment will never voice their story, many people do not have to feel ashamed for being a victim anymore and can break through the silence and fight for change so that other people don't become victims themselves. The first step for change to occur is revealing the problem, and then societal change can be made. A new ABC News Washington Post poll shows that sexual harassment, especially in the workplace, is a full-blown epidemic. It is found that more than half of American women, 54%, have experienced unwanted and inappropriate sexual advances at some point in their lives. And that's only the number that gets reported. The Equal Opportunity Commission, or Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, estimates that 3/4 of all workplace harassment goes unreported. So as victims feel empowered through the Me Too movement, reports of sexual harassment may climb and furthermore expose the problem so that change can be made. Victims can experience an environment in which it is safe and comfortable to share the truth of their harassment and not feel ashamed anymore. Both creating a safe environment for victims and giving them an outlet to share the truth will be the start of critical change in the workplace. Lastly, the success the movement has experienced and the change it has already created in only about 6 months is immense. The movement has already removed harassers and abusers from their positions of power, like people including Harvey Weinstein to Louis C.K., all the way to Dr. Nassar of the U.S. Olympic team. The movement has already shown the power it has in stopping harassers and abusers from getting away with their actions. The effect of this progress is the deterrent factor that harassers and potential harassers will have to deal with, as the possibility of their past actions of misconduct or future actions being exposed is becoming a reality, and them experiencing recourse for these actions when before far too many could get away scot-free with their actions. Harassers will be deterred from committing acts of harassment and abuse because they no longer can get away with them. Scott Fanning, a labor and employment attorney at Fisher Phillips, believes that the most serious forms of harassment will decline as some would-be perpetrators curb their behavior in light of extra-vigilant coworkers. This already decreased the number of assaults and misconducts that will be committed in the coming years. Would-be perpetrators are now fearful of their jobs, and they will be held accountable for their actions. As you can see, change has already started, and progress will not stop anytime soon. The Me Too movement is a catalyst for real change in our society towards workplace sexual harassment, and this is due to the platform of social media, the more compassionate environment for victims to talk about their harassment, and the progress that has already been made in preventing future workplace harassment. Don't be a part of the problem. Help find a solution. Thank you.